I'm coming to you today to tell you about Lesson 3. We will be talking about how important breakfast is and also how to cook the perfect egg. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you're trying some of the recipes. Last week, I hope you learned all about portions and serving sizes and how to read a food label. It's really important going forward. All right, hope you enjoy it. See you next time.
Hey everyone, it's Meredith, Expanded Food and Nutrition Education Program Educator here in Guilford County with North Carolina Cooperative Extension. This is Lesson 3 of Teen Cuisine, Power Up with Breakfast. Today we'll talk about why you should eat breakfast, egg nutrients and safety, germ growth, and how to chop an onion. What do you think this quote means? Eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and supper like a pauper. So breakfast should be a big and important meal, while lunch should be a little smaller, and dinner should be even smaller. While this quote is old, it still shows that all meals are important, but breakfast is the most important and should be your biggest meal of the day. Do you eat breakfast every day? When you skip breakfast, how do you feel by lunchtime? When we skip breakfast, it can make us grumpy, tired, lose focus, and much hungrier as the day goes on. The top 3 reasons people skip breakfast is because they're too tired, don't have enough time, or they aren't hungry. An easy fix for this could be to go to bed early so that you can wake up early enough and have plenty of time to wake up and get hungry for breakfast. The top 3 reasons we should eat breakfast every day are because it helps towards our daily goal of eating all 5 food groups. It increases concentration throughout the day, and it gives us energy so we can be in a better mood all day. These are great reasons to eat breakfast, right? Another good thing from breakfast for athletes is that it can help them train better and be more productive. Let's look at a video about some popular breakfast foods.
Think about some of your favorite breakfast foods. Are they breakfast foods with a lot of sugar? Let's take a look at a couple of popular breakfast foods and see how much sugar the nutrition facts label says they have. Pop-Tarts are one popular choice. We will look at the serving size first so we can realize how much this label is for. The serving size is 1 pouch, so 2 Pop-Tarts. And so we can see that 2 Pop-Tarts have 33 grams of sugar in them. This is what 33 grams of sugar looks like. Another common breakfast food choice is pancakes or waffles, and syrup is often poured onto those, right? Here we are going to look at the syrup nutrition facts label. 1 serving is 1/4 cup, and so 1/4 cup has 32 grams of sugar in it. This is what 32 grams of sugar looks like. But remember that this is only for 1 serving of syrup. The recommended limit of sugar for people to have in a day is 24 to 36 grams. That's it. So 1 serving of either Pop-Tarts or syrup is already almost at the daily limit for us. And it is even better to stay below those limits.
So sugar is something we need to watch out for in breakfast foods because, as you saw, some things have a lot of sugar in them. The recommended daily limit for sugar is 24 to 36 grams. This may sound like a high limit, but some foods are very good at hiding how much sugar they really have. Remember that we can use breakfast to work towards our daily goal of eating all 5 of the food groups. So write down 2 different breakfast foods in each food group that you like. Here are some great suggestions for a healthy breakfast. For protein, we see eggs and turkey bacon. For dairy, we see cheese, milk, and yogurt. Low-fat options for these are even better. For grains, we see oatmeal, oats in the parfait, and some whole grain bread. For vegetables, we see some in the omelet, and there could be even more added. And we see a bunch of fruit on a plate in the oatmeal, avocado, and in the parfait. Keep adding to your list of healthy breakfast foods and put it in the kitchen so that you always have some ideas. Eggs are a great option for breakfast. They have a ton of nutrients in them and can be easily available. The white of an egg contains protein, and fun fact, it's the highest quality protein found in any food. The yolk of an egg contains a lot more. It has fat, choline, which helps with brain function, iron, phosphorus, selenium, vitamins A, B, D, and E, and zinc. Both parts of the egg offer so many good things for our body, which is why it's such a great option for breakfast. When talking about eggs, we have to talk about germs. Do you know what Salmonella is? Salmonella is a foodborne bacteria that can cause illness, and it comes from avian feces, which is bird poop. It can be transferred through raw chicken or eggs. It can cause diarrhea, fever, and stomach cramps for up to 4 to 7 days. This is why we're going to talk about egg safety so that no one needs to get sick. To safely handle and cook eggs, always wash hands after handling eggs. Always crack an egg into a separate cup, preferably clear or dark, and then add to the recipe so you can check for shells and freshness. Always cook thoroughly, and never eat raw eggs in cookie dough, cake batter, eggnog, or dishes that are not cooked long enough. Let's look at a video that shows how fast germs can actually grow.
Germs are something we have to be careful about, especially in the kitchen. Foods that need to be refrigerated or frozen should never be left out at room temperature for more than 2 hours. Germs on food double every 20 minutes at room temperature. So let's see what that looks like. We are going to use beans to represent germs and how fast they can grow. If we started out with 5 beans, and 20 minutes passed by, we would have 10 beans. After 20 minutes more, or 40 minutes, we now have 20 beans. After 20 more minutes, or 60 minutes, we have 40 beans. After 20 more minutes, or 80 minutes, we have 80 beans. After 20 more minutes, or 100 minutes, we have 160 beans. After 20 more minutes, or 120 minutes being 2 hours, we have jumped up to 320 beans. So in 2 hours, we went from just 5 beans or germs to 360 beans or germs. Can you believe how fast it was to get so many germs? And this is while food is still considered safe to eat. So make sure you never leave out food for more than 2 hours at room temperature.
Wow, those germs grew fast. I want to emphasize a few things from that video. Germs double every 20 minutes at room temperature. Food should not be left at room temperature for more than 2 hours. After these 2 hours, they should be stored properly or thrown away. Let's get to watching how to chop an onion. First, we need to get an adult for safety, an onion, a knife, a lemon, which is optional, and a cutting board.
I cook a lot at home, and there are a ton of recipes and dishes that call for onions. They usually call for either sliced, chopped, or diced onion. And not knowing what these terms look like or even how to cut an onion like that can make it even more frustrating to cook. So today I'll talk with you about how to slice, chop, and dice an onion. What we need is an adult for safety, an onion, a knife, a lemon is optional, and then a cutting board. Pause this video if you have these materials and let's head to the kitchen and practice. Okay, remember we always want to cut on a cutting board to protect our knife and surfaces. One thing that happens a lot that may make us avoid even cutting an onion is that it can make our eyes sensitive and sometimes make us tear up. One way to avoid this is by cutting a lemon in half and rubbing the lemon on the cutting board. First, we cut the ends off of the onion and peel off the dry outer layers. Next, rinse the onion under running water to remove any dirt. Then, stand the onion on the cutting board on one flat end and cut in half lengthwise. Place the flat sides on the cutting board. Slice across the onion from one end to the other to make sliced onion, keeping fingers like a claw to prevent fingers from getting cut if the knife slips. Keep the onion together after each slice. To make chopped onion, still slice in the same direction, but do not cut through one of the ends, so the onion will still be held together by that end. Next, turn the onion 1/4 turn and then slice like before, cutting all the way from top to bottom. You can use smaller slices to make diced onion. The diced onion would go great in an omelet to help get some veggies in your breakfast. Here's a recipe for quick and yummy omelets that you can get creative with.
Here's that recipe again for a quick and yummy omelet. Don't forget to have an adult help and make sure that the eggs are cooked all the way. Time to review. Think back to how quickly those germs were multiplying. What are a couple ways we could slow this growth? Storing leftovers and washed produce in the refrigerator is a great way to slow the growth of germs. We can also make sure we're washing our hands before preparing or touching food so that we don't introduce any new germs. Continue to list food items from each food group that you might like to eat for breakfast. This week, I encourage you to try to include breakfast in your daily routine. Your body will thank you. Thank you for joining me today for this lesson. I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson, Find the Fat.